I apologize for possibly hearing the wind or possibly it being too bright, but I was really tired of the rain and I just wanted to go outside today. So I'm going to sit right here and read to you. So we are on chapter 7 of The Great Shark Escape. Down the hatch we go, Miss Frizzle shouted. She pulled some levers and drove the bus sub right past the shark's huge teeth, down its throat and all the way into its stomach. That's when Phoebe spoke up. At my old school, we were never a tiger shark's lunch or dinner, she said. Phoebe was right. We'd been on weird field trips before, but this was out of control. I had to pick a report topic or we'd never get home. The whole class looked nervous. We were in a shark's stomach. Don't worry, kids, Miss Frizzle said. We can go right back out the way we came in. The tiger shark is sometimes called a trash can with fins, Mr. Hill informed us. Look around its stomach and see if you can figure out why. I didn't really care why. I just wanted to get out of there. But I needed to do a report, so I looked around anyway. I can see a crab, Ralphie said. Look over there, Keisha shouted. That's the skeleton of a bony fish. Hey, there's a turtle shell, Phoebe said. The turtle shell was cool looking, but I didn't want to think about what happened to the rest of the turtle. Whoa, what's that thing? I pointed at a fish that was about the same size as our sub. It was shaped like an ordinary fish, but it was glowing like a flashlight. Wow, Carlos said. He glows with the flow. How does he do that? That fish is called a flashlight fish, Mr. Hill replied. Actually, it's not the fish itself that glows. Underneath each eye, the fish has a pouch full of millions of glowing microscopic bacteria. Some fish are bioluminescent because they use it as a device for mating. The glow helps mating fish find one another. Hey, you guys, check it out, Tim called. There's an overcoat right over there. What's that doing in here? Phoebe asked. Well, said the Frizz, I'm not sure how or where this shark found that coat, but I'm not surprised that it decided to eat the coat. This tiger shark is one huge garbage disposal, D.A. said. All right, class, Miss Frizzle said. Fasten your seatbelts. We're going right back up the hatch. Pay special attention to the tiger shark's teeth on your way out. The tiny sub zipped through the shark's mouth. Unfortunately, I got a close look at its teeth on the way out. They were pointy in the front. In the back, they had tiny edges like a saw. They don't look like the goblin shark's teeth, I said. Those teeth were really long and pointy. Yes, and the great white shark had teeth shaped like triangles, Phoebe said. Very good, Arnold and Phoebe, Miss Frizzle said. Tim, why do you think different sharks have such different teeth? Maybe it's because they all eat different foods, Tim replied. Excellent, Tim, Mr. Hill said. That's exactly why. I thought Miss Frizzle would unshrink the sub and us as soon as we escaped the tiger shark's body. But she got busy talking to Mr. Hill and did not hit the switch that would return us to normal size. Then I saw something scary looking swimming our way. It was flat, and it had a strange shape. It almost looked as if it had wings. A long, skinny tail, like a whip, trailed behind it, and it was big, at least 10 or 15 times the size of our shrunken sub. Well, what is that thing? Keisha asked. Mr. Hill looked out the window. Oh dear, he answered. That's a stingray. We must be careful not to startle it. Its tail is covered with thorns, and it's also got a poison stinger. Is it going to get us? Wanda asked. I think we better move away from it. Just to be safe, Mr. Hill answered. Full speed ahead, Liz, Miss Frizzle shouted. Hang on tight, class. Liz pulled a lever on the instrument panel. The tiny bus sub zoomed forward. Bad move. The sudden noise and movement seemed to upset the stingray. It zoomed after us at lightning speed. The bus sub moved fast, but the ray was faster. I just knew we were going to get stung by that tail. Then Ralphie yelled, "Miss Frizzle, help! Look at that!" "It's a shark, Miss Frizzle. It's coming right at us," Keisha added. I looked out the window. A blue-gray shark was swimming toward us, fast. It was going faster than any shark I'd ever seen. And I had seen lots of sharks by then. I could see that there was something really weird about this shark. It was covered with little fish. "Oh, great, another shark," I groaned. "That's exactly what we need." "You're right, Arnold," the Frizz said. "That's a mako shark, and it is exactly what we need to escape the stingray. Hold on, class. It's time for Operation Remora." Operation Rewata? I had no idea what the Frizz was talking about, but when that shark caught up to us, I saw. Miss Frizzle did not try to escape it. Instead, she pushed a button on the sub's instrument panel. A little suction cup shot out from the sub and latched right onto the shark. "What are you doing, Miss Frizzle?" Ralphie asked. "We're hitching a ride out of here," Miss Frizzle answered. "This mako shark will outswim that stingray." "But is this safe?" Wanda wondered. "It's much safer than getting stung by a ray," Miss Frizzle replied. "Do you see that little fish all around us? The shark just thinks we're one of them." "What are those fish?" asked Tim. They're called remoras," Mr. Hill answered. "They often hitch rides on sharks. The sharks rarely bother them." "Look," DA said. Their fins are like little suction cups, holding them right onto the shark's body." "Whoa, what's happening?" Ralphie screamed. "Hang on, everyone," Miss Frizz shouted. Suddenly, we felt the sub rushing upward, and then, for the first time in hours, I saw the blue sky, but only for a second. The mako shark had leaped above the surface. Then it splashed into the water with a jolt. "Oh," Keisha moaned, "that made my stomach feel funny." "Mine too," Carlos said. "Well, look out, because here we go again," Mr. Hill warned us. Once again, the mako shark leaped above the surface of the water. It made another leap, and then another, and another. I looked around the sub. The other kids' faces were green. So were Mr. Hill's and Miss Frizzle's. They were all moaning and groaning. Everyone was seasick, except me. I felt just fine. In fact, I thought the leaping was cool. Riding in the Magic School Remora sub was really fun. It gave me a great idea for my report. The mako jumped again. While we were out of the water, I saw that we were close to shore. Awesome. We could finally come home. "Hey, Miss Frizzle," I shouted. "I just saw the shore. I think it's time to detach the sub from the shark." But Miss Frizzle didn't answer. She still looked green. She was holding her stomach. She seemed to be too sick to say anything. What were we going to do? At any minute, the shark might take us back out into the ocean. There was no way I was letting that happen. We had enough close calls. I wanted to get as far from the ocean as possible. I had never been in charge before, and I didn't think I would like it, but it was up to me to get us out of here. I made my way over to the sub's instrument panel. I felt nervous looking at all the buttons. What if I pressed the wrong one? Then I saw a button marked suction cup. That had to be the right one, right? Nervously, I pressed it. With a pop, the sub detached from the shark's body. Hooray, we were free! Now I had to get us to the shore. I took a deep breath, grabbed the wheel. I had never steered a bus sub before, and I wasn't sure if I could do it. But I had been watching the Frizz steer all day long. And of course, I'd seen her steer the Magic School Bus lots of times. So I aimed the sub for the beach and tried my best to steer the way Miss Frizzle did. Everything went smoothly until we got close to the beach. That's when I realized, in my hurry to get out of there, I was going way too fast. Just when I thought we'd crash into the beach, the sub turned back into a bus and rolled onto the shore. I slammed my foot on the brakes just in time to avoid a crash landing. I couldn't believe my lucky break. We were finally safe on the shore, and it was me, Arnold, who got us there. After a few minutes on land, Miss Frizzle and my classmates stopped looking so green. When everyone felt well enough, Miss Frizzle took the wheel of our normal-sized school bus, and we were on our way home. All the way there, other kids kept telling me I was a hero and talking about how brave I was. You know what? I told Miss Frizzle. This turned out to be a pretty cool field trip, but I never want to do it again. Good old Arnold, Miss Frizzle said. I knew we could count on you.